one of the, I think the funniest things here in the political age of the day is when politicians make these threats of I'm gonna do this, and the public goes, "Sweet, that sounds great. How do we get this done?" Well, that happened when Governor Gavin Newsom threatened something that we all probably would agree with. Just to set this story up, the federal government sends way too much freaking money to schools, universities around the country. The federal government gives them way more money than I think we should. Because of that, the current administration, President Trump, has said, hey, maybe we should have those funds be tied to some minimal amount of, hey, we're actually going to educate the kids and not just indoctrinate them into woke nonsense. Look, I get it. Schools are autonomous. They get to do their own thing. But maybe just a little bit of, yeah, don't turn them all into communists who hate America. Maybe they should be, I don't know, somewhat transparent with how they're doing things. So because of that, President Trump said, hey, how about we sign this pledge, this 10-point pledge, which I'm going to read you the 10 points here, and let me know if you think that this is just so awful we can't have it. Pledge point number 1, equality in admissions, meaning that, well, we're going to look at everybody's admissions equally. That seems fair. Number 2, marketplace of ideas and civil discourse. Another thing that'd be difficult to argue with. 3, non-discrimination in faculty and administrative hiring. Okay, we're on to 3, and so far, so good. 4, institutional neutrality. Some people took a really big exemption to this, but what this is basically, hey, the school doesn't need to weigh in on the politics of the day. By the way, they're getting federal dollars, so they don't need to take a political position. Unless, of course, in this particular point, it says if the school's like being, it's in the news, sure, you go ahead and, say what it is that you're doing. But I don't know, universities don't need to endorse presidential candidates or any political things or support terrorists in the Middle East. That's not a thing that the school needs to do. Maybe they should just remain neutral so no, everybody is welcome. That seems fair and reasonable. 5, committed to student learning. God, this is again extremist views here. 6, student equality. Again, pretty dang good. 7, financial responsibility. This one was big on, hey, don't take a ton of money from foreign interests. Harvard taking a bunch of money from the Chinese Communist Party. That's not great. And that kind of ties into number 8, which is foreign entanglements. Don't be educating all the Chi-Coms at our biggest and best schools to go and figure out how to practice communism better in their country. That's not great. 9 lists out some exemptions of like religious schools. Obviously, you get to do your religious thing, which fair, nobody argues that. And then the 10 is actually enforcing all of these policies that are, again, very, very reasonable. Unless you were the greasy-haired governor of California, Gavin Newsom, who said, and let me read his actual quote. If any California university signs this radical agreement, they'll lose billions in state funding, including Cal grants, instantly. California will not bankroll schools that sell out their students, professors, researchers, and surrender academic freedom. To which all of us said, sweet, hold on, college is a scam and Gavin Newsom's going to defund his own universities? Great. Where do we sign up? Hey, how can we convince all of these schools to sign on to this very reasonable thing? Look, here are the things that are going to potentially happen from this. Either the schools sign President Trump's, and this is specifically in California, sign his 10-point, very reasonable education-based agreement, and then they lose their California money, or they don't sign that agreement and they keep Gavin Newsom happy, but they lose their federal money, which is taxpayer money from all of you folks who don't live in California. This kind of seems like a win-win. It seems like a win-win for everybody here. Just to give you some numbers, by the way, State schools, including the University of California, and the California State University system, and obviously those are different schools: the UC Davis, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, and the California State schools, which are Cal State. We don't need to go through the list of things. It's a whole system with different campuses up and down the state, and California community college systems. In terms of Cal grant funds, that's grants from the students who are using taxpayer money to pay tuition, not state money that just goes directly to the schools. But the Cal grants alone are $2.2 billion per year. That is fiscal year 2024, 2025 in their budgets. So in other words, if the schools don't sign this agreement with the federal administration, they lose federal money. And if they do, Gavin Newsom will help us defund the communists' bastions of higher learning that we all hate so much. This is a great new proposition from the governor of California. I agree, Gavin. Go for it 100%. Defund your own laboratories of creating communist, woke, Marxist, crazy people. I am for it. We will all support you in that endeavor.